Hey team, Jesse Reynolds here. Want to get your WOD video out to you for Monday morning. And I just want to continue a theme you've been hearing about for the past week. There's a reason you're hearing about it. It is because all of the leaders on our team know and understand how true this is, but also how important this is. And it's simply this. This is the best time of year to build your AdvoCare business. The holidays, for some people, it is actually, I don't even want to say for some people, I want to say for most people, unfortunately, the holidays, the fourth quarter of the year, tends to be a season of distraction. There are no shortage of opportunities to get distracted during the fall, during the holidays. You know, there's fall festivals, there's kids with Halloween, and then there's Thanksgiving, and then there's Christmas, and then there's New Year. That is unfortunately what happens to so many people. They simply lose focus on what they want. Now, I'm not saying to not enjoy time with family. That is not the point of this message at all. What I want to try to communicate to you is this is a time when people need what we are offering more than any other time of the year. Now, come January, this is going to get easier. That's the reality of it. Weight loss season, New Year's resolutions, credit card debts, all those things. AdvoCare becomes a much easier conversation to have. People may even seek you out in some situations, and your business will start to go faster. But if we think about what's going on this time of year right now, we're approximately, I don't know, 10 weeks out from Christmas right now, and a lot of parents, a lot of working individuals, they are getting seasonal part-time jobs. A lot of college students are lining up jobs for their 4 weeks of winter break. People are looking for opportunities out there. Look around at the stores that you go into over the next couple of weeks. You will see signs. Talk to managers. Ask them if they're hiring for part-time positions or seasonal positions. They're doing that because people need money right now in stores. This is a time when every other business, right? Think about this. Sometimes we lose perspective on AdvoCare being a business. You know, we treat it like the sales thing we do. No. What are people doing out there right now? You ever heard of Black Friday shopping, right? People are spending more money now than any other time of the year. That is why they're getting these part-time jobs and things like that, whether it's to buy their kids Christmas presents, whether it's to go on that vacation they want. Maybe they're buying themselves a Christmas present. You know, different people, they've got different priorities. Whatever they are, they're neither good nor bad. Just understand it's all about the perspective that you choose to have. So if we understand that people are out there looking for financial solutions towards the end of the year, wouldn't it make sense to share with them that we have the finest financial solution in the entire country? That is the perspective that I see and that I maintain. And that was not always the perspective that I had. You know, our first few years in AdvoCare, our first 5 years in AdvoCare, Beth and I, you know, we just kind of went with the flow, and you know, people kind of let off the gas pedal a little bit, and so we let off the gas pedal a little bit, and we just figured, hey, January's going to get better, and just I guess that's just the way it is. But back in 2012, and many of you probably heard me share this story now, but it's worth repeating because unless you get it and act on it, then you ain't getting it yet, and you've got to get this and you've got to act on it. Back in the fall of 2012, we were at a point where we really wanted some breakthrough in our business, and we really wanted some breakthrough in our lives. And we knew that we needed to do some things differently. We needed to do some things better than we had up to that point. So we looked at it and we said, hey, we know that the fall tends to be a slow time of year for most people, but what if it didn't have to be a slow time of year? What would happen if we worked harder and we went against the grain? So what happened was in November of 2012, we earned approximately $7,000 that month in AdvoCare. And we went out there and we worked it. I mean, we didn't take a day off, other than Christmas and Thanksgiving. We really didn't take a day off. I mean, I even remember, this sounds so silly, but it illustrates how bad we wanted to accomplish the goals that we had set before ourselves. And you know, the first Hobbit movie came out that December, and we love Lord of the Rings, and we wanted to go see that. And we just, in our minds, you gotta remember, we were already full time, we had already retired, but just in our minds, we couldn't justify taking 3.5 hours out of an afternoon to go watch a movie when we knew we could be spending that time investing into our business instead and helping other people. So what happened in the fall of 2012 is we recruited a guy named Adam Cantrell in October of 2012. Look at my notes here. And then he led to a gentleman by the name of Jamie Price in December of 2012. You guys don't know Jamie. Jamie is a gold leader. He's a two-time member of the national leadership team. He's one of the top leaders on our team. And he's responsible for the entire Brian and Tori Fussell organization up in Lebanon, Tennessee, 3-star gold leaders, and also a part of the national leadership team. That came as a direct result of us working with focus through the fourth quarter of 2012. So here's what happened. Like I said, in November of 2012, we earned about $7,000 that month. In April of 2013, 5 short months later, because we did not let off the gas pedal, because we went into January with massive momentum, we earned $22,000 that month. We more than tripled our income in just 5 months' time because we refused to quit. We refused to just go with the flow. We were countercultural. We went against the grain. And was it worth it? You better believe $22,000 a month, that'll change some things for you and for your family. And whatever income level you're at now, imagine if you looked up 3, 4, 5 months from now and you had tripled your income in AdvoCare. The question we all have to ask ourselves is, would it be worth it? Beth and I, we made our decision. So when we saw that, we decided to apply that same principle the following year. So fast forward to the fall of 2013. And so we continued to work with focus, and we continue to be digging down and doing mixers and just all the fundamentals that we know to do in AdvoCare. And so we were still holding right around that $20,000 mark, $22,000 a month mark, up and down a couple thousand here or there throughout the rest of the year. Fast forward into November of 2013, we earned about $20,000 that month again. Well, what we did was we did not let off the gas pedal. We continued to work this thing. I even remember signing up a third-level advisor in a new emerging leg at like 11:30 at night, the night before Thanksgiving. I remember that, signing up a couple up in Alabama. And so it's not about working till 11:30 at night every night, but what it's about is being in action and knowing where you're going, knowing what you want, and simply being willing to put the work in to go get it. The opportunities are before. So here's what happened. We wound up staying in action, and in the first week of December that year, we brought on not only DJ Marissa Janakis, national leadership team members in the first 6 months, but we also brought on Christina Consavo, my cousin. You guys have probably heard about her. I mean, she has had 3,000 PGV every single period since she got started back at the beginning of she became a distributor then and got to advisor within the next month. So ever since becoming an advisor, has always had over 3,000 PGV and is knocking on national leadership team just 10 months later here. So was it worth it? What happened was we wound up catapulting ourselves forward into Diamond, and we wound up earning $38,000 the month of January. We almost doubled our income again in the next 2 months. And so I want you to think about that again. We proved that it was possible, and several of our team members who were around in 2012, they saw that happen for us, and so they jumped on board and they treated it with momentum in 2013. That laid the foundation for a major breakthrough for them. I believe that the Rudders and Butlers both worked with focus through the fall, and they both qualified in Pinned Emerald in January or February. They could correct me on the dates of that, but that's the type of breakthrough that happens there. I just want to I looked through the reports and I just picked out a few other names of leaders who were recruited during the fourth quarter of their year, whatever year it was. So Beth and I, we were recruited in November of 2007. I already mentioned Christina and the Janakises. Kevin and Sarah Caldabaugh were our first advisors. They're a rock in our organization. They were recruited in December. I mentioned Adam Cantrell and Jamie, how they were recruited. J.M. Hinton, a lot of you guys know J.M. He's been working this since he was 18. And he is still a full-time college student earning $1,000 a month. He's responsible for Todd and Maggie Boger. You guys see them in the Impact magazine. Hundreds of thousands of people are sharing their stories because we recruited an 18-year-old kid back in the fall. In fact, James Rudder, he got to advisor in October of 2012. And one other one was back in December of 2012, 3-star gold leaders Jason and Christy Wells also were sponsored into AdvoCare. Why am I sharing that? Here's the thing. We all know people who need what we have. That's a given. That's indisputable. The question becomes, are you willing to talk to them? Are you going to be in action? Are you going to be actively searching for those who want what we have? Or are you going to be passively saying, oh, maybe I'll meet somebody. Maybe I'll run into someone. Who knows what will happen? If you're being passive with this thing, that opportunity is going to pass you by is what's going to happen. But if you're out there actively talking, actively recruiting, again, spend time with family, but don't lose sight on what you really want. If you have a full-time job and your purpose is to be debt-free, then get debt-free, because that's going to change everything in your family. If you have a family and your purpose is to bring you or your spouse or both of you home to be with your kids, then wouldn't it be worth it to maybe do a couple less family activities this Christmas and Thanksgiving, to have every single day with your family for the rest of your lives. That's what I look at. Beth and I, we didn't have kids yet a couple years ago. It might have been a little easier, but the reality is my son comes in this world in the next 3 or 4 weeks, and he will never know a reality where mom or dad work outside the home. It was absolutely worth every single sacrifice we had made the past 7 years. So you just got to decide that for yourselves. Because what would happen? Would it be worth it if you worked with extra focus and you recruited a James Rudder, if you recruited a DJ Marissa Janakis, if you recruited a Jesse and Beth Reynolds? You got to answer that question for yourself. Beth and I have made our decision. I know all the top leaders on our team. They have made their decision. They are in. This is a little longer WOD than usual, but I hope you guys see this and understand that I am fired up about where we are going, because even as great as AdvoCare has been for us, this is just the beginning of what is to come. But your boat has got to be in the water, because a rising tide raises all ships only if your boat is in the water. Come with us. We look forward to celebrating your success.